Hey YouTube, we are back with another episode, and today I am going to talk about my training split for Mr. Olympia. I am 5 weeks out today, 5 weeks and 1 day to be exact. Today is Thursday. I'm literally going to upload this video today. So I am going to cover my whole training split for this Olympia growth phase, cruise growth phase, and prep, which has recently started. Today is the 20th of August, and like I said, we are about 5 weeks out from Olympia. I'm in a deficit. My weight has been going down really nicely at a good rate. Yesterday we hit a new low, which was 103. I have to say I do feel extremely flat, but we know if you want to get shredded, you gotta get flat. You get flat first. As long as your training performance is good and it is not suffering, you are good to go. But obviously you don't, at the same time, you don't want to dig yourself a big hole, because sometimes if you push too hard for too long, you can lose muscle even if your training performance is good, and it's gonna take you some time to get your body back to life, to get your fullness back and look and feel fresh. Anyway, all right, let's start with my split after Arnold Classic. So after Arnold Classic, when we got back home, I was cruising for a bit, I think for about 6 to 8 weeks, and my training split was literally what it was before Arnold when it comes to split. Obviously exercise selections are were a little bit different, but to be completely honest with you, 80% of the exercises I am doing, I have been doing them for at least 4 or 5 years, because I do believe when it comes to bodybuilding is a skill, training is a skill. The more you do something, the better you get at it. Okay, so if there is an exercise that I have been doing for 3, 4, 5 years, over this period of time I have been able to build that skill to get more out of that movement. When it comes to mind muscle connection, when it comes to the intensity, just getting more out of an exercise, it's a skill and it requires time. So majority of the movements that I am doing, I have been doing them for years. Okay, when training split changes, it's more like we aim to hit a muscle maybe more often. Maybe we allow some more time for a muscle to recover, depending on which phase we are on and what the goal is. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You don't need to change your exercises. Sometimes I might do the same exact same program for 6 months, for 12 months. It depends if I'm competing or not. If I'm on a growth phase, I can hit the muscles with more frequency because there is more food present and your recovery is faster. All right, so after Arnold's, we did a 3 day on split, 1 day off, 3 on, 1 day off, and it was literally, it's here now, let me open it. So my program was a back and delt workout, okay, and then it was biceps and chest, starting with biceps because biceps is a priority. So before I go into my program, lats and arms have been priority for months, okay, so you know that. Anyway, it was a back and delt workout. I was like 5 exercises for back and 2 for mid delts. And then day 2 was biceps and chest, starting with biceps because it is a priority and it doesn't affect my chest workout. You want to start with biceps, with the muscle that is your priority, because you are the most fresh and you can get more out of it. So it was actually 3 for biceps and 3 for chest, then 1 for rear delt on that day. Then day 3 was triceps and legs, again triceps to be a priority. So the first 3 days, I literally, each workout I'm starting with what is Day 1 back, day 2 biceps, day 3 triceps and legs. So I was doing 3 for triceps, and then I was doing 2 for hamstrings, 2 exercises. 2 exercises for quads and 1 for calves, long workout. And then it was a rest day, right? And then after the rest day was back and biceps, okay? So back to be a priority. I was doing, that day I was doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for back, 5 for back and 2 for biceps, 2 exercises. Then it was a day 5 was chest, triceps and delt. I was doing 1, 2, 3 exercises for chest, 1, 2, 3 exercises for triceps and 2 exercises for delts. Long workout. Again, I could do it with more volume just because it was post show and there was more food, you know. I enjoy training, doing high volume workouts, especially on a growth phase. Definitely not in deficit, but in a growth phase I do. And then day 6 was legs and biceps. Starting with biceps, only 1 exercise again because biceps was a priority. So I was hitting biceps 3 times a week. But on that day I was doing only 1 exercise for biceps, and the rest was literally just legs. Anyway, that was the split I did after Arnold Classic. We did that split for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rotations. Okay, so we did that for a while. I was actually still doing it when my growth phase started. Okay, for a few weeks, and then I thought I could get more out of this growth phase. So I talked to my coach, I talked to Dean. I said, look, I think I can get more out of this phase. Instead of hitting my back every 4 days or biceps or triceps, I want to hit them every 3rd day. So what I want to do, I want to do the exact same exercises, right? Actually a little bit less because I was doing a 4-day rotation. But I'm like, I don't want to bring any new exercises. I want to stick to my exercises. And I want to do an upper split and then a limbs day. So upper would be back, always start with back, then chest, then delts, right? And then limbs day, arms and legs, mostly arms obviously. So I am able to train each muscle with more frequency, and I am able to rest every 3rd day instead of every 4th day to maximize recovery. On paper, it made sense for me, and honestly, it did work. So what we did, we started upper and lower split. So day 1 was back, chest and delt. As I mentioned, I was doing 4 exercises for back instead of doing 5. I did 4. So 4 for back, and then I did 2 exercises for chest and 2 for delts. So each day I was doing 8 exercises. Usually I do 7 exercises, okay? And the training volume was, total sets was 17 sets for day 1. And then day 2, which was a limbs day, I was training arms and legs. This day was more of an arm and hamstring day, okay? So I did 2 exercises. Instead of doing like 3 exercises for biceps or triceps, I was doing 2, but I was doing an extra set. So I was still doing 6 sets, but I picked it 2 exercises that felt fucking amazing basically. And I just did an extra set. Instead of spending like hours at the gym setting up machines, I decided to just do that, and it worked. So I was doing 1 exercise for biceps, then 1 triceps, then 1 biceps, 1 triceps on that day, and then 2 hamstrings and 1 for adductor. Okay, on that day I was doing 19 sets. I could afford a little bit more volume just because it was more of an isolation work. Like, it's different if you do 10 sets of squats, or 10 sets of doing a chest press compared to doing like biceps curls. You know, it's obviously more taxing doing compound heavier movements. And then I was resting, so 2 days on rest, and then again back, chest and delt. On this day I was doing 4 exercises for back, same 2 for chest, and 2 for chest, 1 for mid delt, 1 for rear delt. Okay, 17 sets again. That was day 3, and then day 4, the final day of my rotation, was arms and legs. This day was a little bit longer and harder because I was doing quads as well. So I was doing 2 exercises for biceps, then 2 for triceps, 1 for hamstring, and then there was 3 exercises for quads, which was 1 set of leg extension, 1 set of either pendulum squat or hack, 2 sets of either pendulum squats and hack squat or hack squat, and 2 sets of single leg press. This day was actually 20 sets. It was a long workout. Sometimes went to like 3 hours because a lot of movements were actually single arm as well as single leg. Anyway, so we did that rotation. 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. I started doing that, and then after like maybe 2 weeks or so, when we got deeper into this rotation, as there was more fatigue building up, some weeks I might have rested 3 days, or done like 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 1 day off, something like that. But we did this rotation for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rotations, pretty much 8.5. So we did for a while, and honestly body responded well, but I don't think I was able to keep going with the same rotation for my prep when I'm in a calorie deficit. By the end of this, I was pretty naked. Okay, so we did progress, definitely, you know, brought some body parts up on this growth phase, excuse me, and then the growth phase was finished about 10 weeks out from Olympia. We are 5 weeks out, almost 5 weeks out. So 10 weeks out, the growth phase was over. Like, okay, now I feel fucked up. I'm like, okay, I need to do a deload week. So after that, for a week, we did a deload, but on that week, I only did 2 sessions. So it was like I did the upper session, then rested for 3 days. They did a lower session, then rested for another 2-3 days. But then the training volume was down, the intensity was down. I felt nice and fresh after that. So that got me to 9 weeks out from Olympia. And then on that week, the deload week, it was more of a maintenance side, not really a deficit. Food came down just because I wasn't moving as much or training, right? So what we did after that is that we started a 5-day training split for my prep. That's what I thought would work the best for me. Again, I talked to my coach. I'm like, this is what I want to do, you know. So that's how we normally work when it comes to training programs and stuff like that. I'm like, I think this is what I want to do. And then he's either like, yeah, that sounds good, or he's like, oh, maybe let's change this and do that. But honestly, 99% of the time, you know, we agree on everything pretty much. Anyway, so we're going to 9 weeks out. 9 weeks out, we started a deficit. I'm pretty sure at 3,850 calories. That was my starting point. Only recently, a few days ago, we pulled food down to, I think, 3,500, something like that. But anyway, we started deficit. So I am almost 4 weeks into my deficit. And I am down, how many kilos? 7.5 kilos, which is why I am having refit days here and there. And today and tomorrow, I'm actually having refits. So either Euro 103. The goal is to lose about 1 kilo a week, you know. So once we get there, if we have a few extra days that week, we're like, okay, let's push the food up and see what happens, and then we go back down again the following week. Anyway, so again, we changed split for prep, but exercise selection didn't change. So what I'm doing now is exactly what I was doing on my 4-day rotation for the training split, but over 5 days. Okay, so there's a little bit less volume for each session, so I can feel more fresh, and the quality of sets, you know, stays up. So here's what we are doing now, and we have been doing since I started the deficit. Um, Starting with day one, which is back, chest, and delt. So it's an upper day, right? I am doing 4 exercises for back, like I was before, 2 for chest, 1 for delt, 15 sets in total. And then it's arm and hamstring day, basically the same workout as I was doing before with a little bit less volume. Again, this day actually it's a little bit more volume compared to the previous day, just because I'm doing arms, and for arms you can obviously do more, and it's this day is pretty much all isolation work anyway. So I am doing 4 exercises for arm, right? And I'm doing 2 for hamstring, again, which is isolation, and then 1 for adductor. So all isolation, no compound movement, which allows me to have a little bit more volume, training volume, as I won't be as fatigued because I'm only using one muscle at a time. So compound is when you use more than one muscle. Like for example, when you do chest, you use your chest as a primary muscle, and then you use your triceps, and you feel it on your shoulders as well a little bit. Anyway, so 19 sets for that day, and then rest day. Okay, after rest, I always start my after rest day, it's always a back day for me. Okay, because I rest, I'm fresh. My first workout is the workout that is a priority to me, and to me it's always lats. Okay, so it's the day 3, it's a pull day, doing 4 exercises for back, doing 1 for rear delt, and 2 for biceps. I finish off with bicep, 16 sets in total. And then it's a lower day, which is only 12 sets, and 4 sets of that is calves. So pretty much 8 sets the whole workout, but it's a heavier day where I'm training my quads that I go pretty hard. So this day I'm doing 3 sets for hamstrings. Then I have 3 exercises for quads, but only 5 sets. 1 set of leg extension, 2 sets of hack squat, 2 sets of single leg press, then 4 sets of calves. And then we got the push day, day 5, final day. On this day, I am doing 1, 2 for chest as usual, 2 for triceps, and 2 for delts. Only 6 exercises, 15 sets in total. It's definitely my sweet spot for a push workout. Honestly, there isn't a workout that I'm doing now and I'm like, oh, this is too long, or I feel like my performance drops significantly towards the end of the workout, to be completely honest with you, and I am really enjoying it. Like I said, on prep, just because you're in deficit and eating less food, you can't be doing too much volume, just because you really want to focus on quality sets. And what I mean by that is that you want to make sure your performance stays up and your execution is 100% on point. You do not want to get weaker. You don't want to move less weight for more reps. I see a lot of people doing that in prep, and that's the most stupid thing you can do. You're literally gonna lose some of your muscles and you're gonna look flat as fuck. Okay, do not chase the pump. We don't train for the pump. Obviously, when you train, you should get a pump, but we don't chase pump. We don't. If you just do like 20 push-ups, you're gonna get the maddest pump, right? But you do a heavy set of pressing 6 to 8 reps, for example, and you won't even like get a pump. Or even if you do, it's not as good as when you do a set of push-up to failure. But pump doesn't really indicate anything. However, not getting a pump at all is a sign that you're probably not training your muscle properly, executing properly, or maybe you are dehydrated, or maybe you are, it's very rare, maybe you're like extremely flat and dying. But to be honest, even if I'm like I was not eating carbs for 3, 4, 5 days, if I train, I still get a pump, okay, as long as I'm hydrated, okay? Anyway, this is my training split. I am 5 weeks out from Olympia. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. You know, I appreciate the support. The more support I get, the more videos I make for you guys, so you can see exactly what I'm doing going into the Olympia. Okay, So if there is something you guys would like to see and would like me to talk about, please comment below. And obviously don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.